Mac and Perry. He's Mac. I'm Perry. I understand that you have spent quite a bit of your life in Picture Butte.
Yes,
Awesome.
I have, yeah.
So we'll just dive into these right away. Literally, biggest small town of Canada, or D, fastest growing small town in Canada.
I'm gonna go with the livestock. My home. So I remember when I lived in Winnipeg for a summer, and it's totally way different in there. The air's different. It's like very familiar. Your whole body knows.
Yeah.
But it's a lot of people.
Yeah. No, that's
but
fair.
it's definitely like a reminder that this is where I grew up and the people that I know and a lot of my
69.
45.
Not quite. No, 1960.
Towards the reservoir more, I was like, what's with all these new houses?
Right.
But no, it's growing. The mailbox people.
A growth in community or connection or anything? Totally okay if not. I'm just curious.
I think so for me. I mean, like I already touched on, I love it here. It's home.
That's
I know a
awesome.
lot of people, and community is important to me. Family's important to me. So yeah.
And if you were to share...
Never felt like an outsider in my own town, so it was nice.
That's
you get
amazing.
to know everyone, and yeah. This is spring or fall. Ooh. That's hard for me.
Oh, why is that?
Not in the spring, it's more windy because it's melting the snow, all the Chinooks. But in the fall, it's very picturesque.
What it is, but I have really been paying attention in fall.
Yeah.
Like to the colors of the trees and stuff. I just feel like
Driving the other day, my son said, "All the trees." I'm like, yeah.
yeah,
Like he's not even he notices.
yeah, no, to see all those little ridges and stuff, and I just
It
love
is
how
really
it kinda
pretty.
highlights those. Permission first.
Yeah, always let it out first, right? You don't want to beg for forgiveness.
Right.
It's not a vibe.
Yeah, no, that's a good point.
Wine or beer? Oh.
Or neither, I guess.
Well, I do like wine, but
No,
I don't.
me
Yeah,
neither.
like I don't go to vineyards and stuff,
Right.
but like I don't like when you.
I love it. Yeah, I had the same experience. Yeah. Right on. Okay, we'll do one more, which I think...
A friend one time took me to an Indian place in Lethbridge, and I never had Indian food before.
Yeah.
So I was like, wow, this is, and having people over. There's something about food that's so makes your connection with family.
Yeah.
Okay.
and then they correlate to a question, and we'll just see what it is.
Sounds
and go
good.
From
Okay. This one kind of looks so fascinating.
Yeah.
I know a lot of people around this area that are Dutch. My one friend's Dutch, and she's bilingual, and so she'll just switch. Like, definitely be the other one for sure.
there. Yeah, Spanish and or Cree.
Yeah.
Yeah, right on.
Now, actually, so
Okay.
I have a couple books on my shelf there that I'm reading. The Bread, Milk, and Honey is a good one, and then
And writing is, I don't know. It seems potentially like overlooked.
poetry were like healing books, which was really good for my journey, my personal journey.
Yeah.
And it really just, kind of opened my eyes a little bit more to poetry.
Languages.
Yeah, hopefully.
Yeah, that would be kind of cool.
That'd be cool.
But I really love what you say there about the kind of open-ended.
With everything that I've gone through in my life, now when I look back on those certain points, I'm like, wow, this a lot has 24.
24. We've got. What have you tried that scared you?
Oh, really like, am I doing the right thing? I don't want to say the wrong thing or do the wrong thing or represent myself or my culture in the wrong way. And
Research or just taking time to think and reflect.
lots of research, lots of thinking and reflecting, like things with them about it. But yeah, I try to talk to elders and talk to people that have more knowledge than I do.
It's not an easy thing. And I'm just curious if you have any reflections on that or some things that have helped you do.
As long as you're just going for it, you know, what can happen?
Yeah. Kind of like that idea is, what's one act of kindness we should all do more of?
Oh, it's kind of driving all crazy. And he's like, what's happening? And I'm like, maybe they have to poop. Because he was kind of getting like angry.
They gotta use the washroom.
Yeah.
And you know what I mean? So yeah, maybe they're going a bit faster. And
Yeah.
no.
Whatever it is. And sometimes I'll pay it forward. I'll I'll buy someone else's coffee. Hopefully it's not a lot.
But live stream or otherwise.
We just want to learn about your business and what you're all about, and it'll be a great conversation.
Good.
So tell me about, and how long have you been doing this?
So it's been about 5 years that I've been doing the Painted Antler as a business. And
this business. I guess what was that like, starting that business?
Intimidating.
Yeah.
It made for a business, and I just kind of picked it. I was sitting in my basement thinking of prints and whatnot on them, thinking about should I sell this? Do people actually want to buy this? Me up, and I did it.
Nice. Yeah, and what was that like, going to that first market? Do you remember kind of how that felt?
Oh, I was so nervous. Yeah. So I had like this table for like 3 weeks in my living room and just setting it up, putting my stuff on there, seeing how it would look. It went way better than I could have ever imagined. Like, I was so scared. And then I sold so many things and they were so inviting. And even the people who were native that came up to us, the Indigenous people that were like, oh.
About the pieces themselves, we could talk about the details of them, but I'm assuming there's that Indigenous connection to it, right?
Yeah, definitely. And then when she passed away 11 years ago now, actually without my status, I felt like I have to have my status, or I have to participate in these activities that Indigenous people do to actually atmosphere that I really wanted in my life. Like, a piece of me was missing. So yeah, I've been learning. I tell
kind of your whole life that you felt that between two worlds, or like how long have you been feeling that way?
Yeah, definitely my whole life. Like, I knew made it very like clear that I was the darkest person there. I think she was complimenting me. She didn't have a bad nature about it, but a part of them, because I didn't know what it was all about, but I felt this huge connection to it. And then went up there and participated in a round dance and a big meal and everything, and the next day we buried my grandmother. But when I went up there, to myself, and I was like, this is my culture, these are my people, this is what I'm supposed to be a part of.
Indigenous people, like at the market, let's say, like before that, like you said, you didn't have your status card, like maybe mentally for yourself, maybe
I was able to take a class, all my relations in Lethbridge that they hosted, they just asked me if I wanted to do it. And when I was at a market, and I was like, okay, yeah, let's do it. And in that class specifically, I met some people who were also Cree. So that was really, I guess, eye-opening and really homecoming for myself and my family. And not only just like me and my kids, but my parents and my aunt.
And then has that kind of impacted your family as well? Like, have they noticed a change?
Oh yeah, definitely. And they just like in our home, it was very open, and my parents were very open to whoever we wanted to be. I married, my ex-husband is a Mormon man. Orange shirt for, the residential school people. And I want to do all these things that represent our culture, because it's who.
Describing, we tell ourselves certain things about our lives or about who we are and where we're going. And yeah, it seems it's kind of a way you're also reconnecting with your traditions there.
Yeah, definitely.
I guess maybe we could we will have the showcase. We'll see some of the pieces. And we can kind of
a lot of different tribes with beadwork. And that one was a big one for me to go into, which I never felt. I was beadwork down there. That's really, really beautiful beadwork. But yeah, so that really brought me closer to the culture. And then dream catchers are really cool. I think the last piece, I kind of do like little pieces here and there. I kind of jump from like earrings to key, but now that I'm doing them, it's like I see it everywhere. So it's eye-opening for me and humbling again.
Is there like maybe like a really popular item that people like to buy from you?
I think my antler keychains. I do like antler slice keychains. Hair clips right over there, so we'll show them in the showcase. But those ones are super popular right now. The claw clips that are beaded, and everyone.
Maybe if you think about like traditional Indigenous art or something, there might be certain things that it might include, but I'm not sure how much like.
When I thought of beadwork, I thought of like. That's like when I was younger, I'd be like, that's kind of weird. Why would you want to wear that? But now, different light, and I see beautiful regalia that just takes hours and hours, and I realize the work that's put into it.
No, that's great. Yeah. And like as far as like you're going to these markets. Are you selling things online?
And they can visualize them having it more when it's there, I think, rather than definitely enriching, a lot more personal, and just like, yeah, because I get to know them and I get to know them and they get to know me and they get to know my story, and when you support people like that, you're more likely. I feel like I have
Betty?
a lot of,
no, I don't know. Yeah.
I feel like I have a lot of customers like that, actually. I'm not going to name that convention in Lethbridge, that one weekend that they did in September, and I was like, oh, she's wearing my earrings, and I'm like, oh, that's amazing, and able to meet people like that and interact with people like that, and yeah, it's an experience. It's not
This full time.
yeah.
What's that been like for you?
Scary, intimidating, nerve-wracking. Into that, I wanted to fully let myself like just fully give everything that I have.
Is this right for me, and the cultural side, and then you're selling these pieces? Was there maybe like a shift where you said, okay, I can actually make a
that I wanted to when I was tracking it and everything? I was like, okay, well, obviously I can support myself, like not that I had to have a balance there. So this is what I want to do, so why not just throw myself into it and then be able to actually make the jump.
Yeah, good for you. That takes a lot of courage, for sure. And I'm really glad that you talked about how,
and when you know you want to do something, you should really just do it, because it pays off. If you have, it's definitely scary, but I think it's been worth it. And even though I'm stressed sometimes about
me, or
a little bit, because I knew that I didn't have that cushion of the 9 to 5. I didn't have that to rely on to be like, oh, it's 2. Yeah.
But hopefully, like, not in a negative way.
No, not in a negative way.
More motivating to get out there and do it. You still want to enjoy your life and time with your family. So
exactly.
Yeah, for sure. You have a balance.
Yeah,
I guess like
it's I know I'm safe with everything. Like the way that I did it, I saved up a bunch and everything. So I didn't just, and then feeling just feeling like sometimes like I can't. I'm just the other day actually in my kitchen, I was.
Your family said you should sell these things. Yeah, like were they supportive of you also, like quitting your 9 to 5 and doing this full time?
Yeah, they were for sure. And my boyfriend too. He's like, it's fine. You'll be fine. He always says that, it's fine. And then just.
One of them,
yeah,
right?
10.
The other one's a little bit younger.
Yeah, she's 2, so she can't quite bike there yet. But maybe when she's 10, we'll see. I had to do a lot of it as a single parent for the last 5 years, 4.5 years, I guess. Now that I have a boyfriend, but forward, like he's a feeler rather than a thinker, so he definitely has noticed a change in me. I feel like, and I've noticed a change in him. He's responding now, which I feel like I am too. So I mean, it kind of ties into how I'm leading my.
Your family is very important to you, and you want to take care of them. You want to provide for them. But I think it's also very valuable.
I feel like they have to do something because it's a financially driven in a negative way. It's felt that way in different jobs. Like I've always really liked them. I've always enjoyed what I've done, enjoyed talking to the people,
Yeah, a couple of questions come to mind before we wrap up. I guess. What's next for Painted Antler Co? What's kind of next on the horizon?
For artists to sell from them, like they sell for the artists, and the artists of course get credit for their art and everything, or anything. But I feel like we need to step forward and shine more, and just be like, hey, here we are.
Answering it as we've been talking, but kind of like to end on this one is like, how has your art or your business, how has that changed you as a person?
You can, and having children is a really good motivator for that, because it's like, okay, I could really mess them up. Coming.
Yeah, are you rolling on it? Yeah. Great. Welcome once again. Can you tell us about this piece?
So this is an antler shed that I found, just like in a hayfield. I was just like kind of driving reason, but if they don't, that's okay.
Yeah, the colors. Is there any like significance to the colors, like beyond loving them? Love it. And the design wise, is there anything you wanted to add about the design wise? Do you just kind of do it as you go? And
this is kind of my style. Is triangles and dots and lines. It's kind of my style. I don't really do like realistic stuff.
To be used, and that it can be used for something. It's not necessarily just to look at. Although that would also be fun, I'm sure. On that note, I think if we moved on to maybe some earrings. So these are earrings, I believe. Is that right?
So those are earrings. And then put another backing on it. When you look on the back here, you could show the camera too when they slide out. Got them from, I'm going to shout her out because she's amazing. Her name's Jackie. She's from the Busy Beaver, and she's an Alberta artist as well. And she just has...
That kind of impacted your artwork and your business, and
Again, like opening the doors and connection, people who are as close to me as possible, makes it more local and makes it more... There's something about to look at. This is wearable art, so it's conversational art. It's conversation pieces that people wear, and when people,
that you can wear a specific set of earrings for a specific event or something. And
type earrings. So this is kind of more like the beaded embroidery type, but then those blue ones down there are more the fringe type. But they were like for each one of my bridesmaids, and I was like, yeah, of course. So I did that for her too, and it was such an honor to people who work in the counseling industry, like stuff like that, where people will see it every day. I think is those everyday.
What was that called again?
Wooden cabochon.
Cabochon. That's a new word for me. So.
It's kind of a new word for me too, because I was like, what do I call it? I feel like bringing those more natural pieces into the element is really... It's an element that...
the graduations and stuff, and that there's photos being taken, even weddings, like that it lives on, I think that's really special. Work and kind of like uplifting and showcasing, and I don't know, that's just something I took away from it briefly there.
Yeah, definitely. Earrings for this, and they're like, let's do it.
I love it.
So it's just a big old community, and I'm so honored to be a part of it, and that I bought, and I did it for myself. And just the brim is beaded. Do you want to hold it up?
Hold it,
But anyway, I kind of did this one very manically because I was like, I need a hat for myself. So this one took me 15 hours, and I took it to the festivals with me, and I took it to markets with me, and just went out to, the car shows, and
at least 15 hours of work, and like counting the specific beads and the pattern too. I'm seeing the pattern in there, the triangle.
To happen to it.
Right.
But the significance of feathers is basically like the eagle feather is very, very, you might have heard how special it is. So the eagle feather is closest to the creator. So when you have an eagle feather, you're blessed with an eagle feather, you find one or you're given one, it's
summer. And I love that.
Awesome.
I know that another piece we have behind us here,
like traditional, towards the traditional side of dream catchers, what I've learned from dream catchers, I know there's lots of stories, and then they evaporate into the sun. The feather brings them up to the creator, so you have good dreams. That's kind of the story of the dreams.
On. Yeah, and I, having literally just learned that about the feathers, I love...
That really opened my eyes to it more.
Nice. And just because I think we have time, again, the...
Bead soup. So in the native beading community, when it's a lot of different colors, we call it bead soup, because there's no actual pattern or any... And it's a good piece.
That's awesome. Yeah, and I don't know if you can see it on the camera there, but there is a wire, which is what you're referencing we have for this segment. But
no, not really.